It was then that the daughter stopped loving her parents. She realized that they had never loved her, had never seen her as anything else other than the means to their goals. And she grew very angry and hateful. But she did as her parents had wanted, lost everything that she was so that they could have their weapon and kill for their god. The daughter poured all of her rage, all of her hate, all of everything that was mad that her love had held back into that weapon. Every unchecked drop of emotion was placed into the instrument. It seemed as if she had put her very soul into it. And when the parents tried to pick up the weapon, to use it in their righteous cause, the weapon burned them, burned their minds, and burned their souls. It plunged their psyches into nightmares too horrible for them to comprehend, giving reprieve only so it could be snatched up and the haunting of their very being could continue. But before the parents received their final suffering, they asked the weapon why. Why would it do this to them? They loved their god and had even sacrificed the life of their own daughter for it. And the weapon replied, "Because you were my god, and all I have done is follow your teachings of love." And with those words etched into their last thoughts, the parents descended into madness and death, the weapon laughing in loving devotion. Atop the fourth wall, where... Oh, not again. Yeah, it's been kind of a trying time these last few weeks, what with me seeing things that aren't there. Ow! And that... And the near-constant sirens! And just to really piss me off, I've had to endure something far worse than all of this junk. Silent Hill Dead Alive! When we last left our merry band of dimwits, windbags, and completely pointless characters, everybody was separated, and yet they all had the same unfortunate happenstance of us not knowing just what the hell was going on. Here's the plot as I can figure. A witch named Linkara has taken control of Silent Hill from last year's protagonist Lauren in preparation for the arrival of some great being. Christabella, the demon girl who needs to wash her mouth out with soap, has become mortal but inherited Lauren's power to make demons explode. Hollywood actor Ken Carter has been kidnapped by Linkara so that he can become a psychotic killer and bring the nightmare of Silent Hill into the minds of everybody in the world! Woo! Which, as far as evil plans go, ranks up there with I'll take over the world by making everybody stupid by convincing kids not to go to college. I'll explain why it's so absolutely idiotic in a minute. Linkara takes Ken to Silent Hill to convince him to become a murderer by also kidnapping his ex-girlfriend Connie. Through a series of convoluted events, Connie has now been possessed by something, Ken has located Lauren's magic book but is now encountering his undead father, and Linkara now stands revealed to have been Lauren the whole time, a plot twist that comes so far out of left field to have come from an entirely different field altogether. Oh yes, and there's Whatley, who despite these comics continually trying to convince us is someone important, has done all of 2 things so far.
Jack and shit. And Jack left town.
So why is this evil plan so moronic? Well, it should be pretty damn obvious, but if it wasn't obvious to Scott Siensen, then there are probably those out there that don't get it. Having an actor kill people is not going to strike all that much fear into people, partially because actors and celebrities have killed before. At best in pop culture, it's something that ends up with the murderers being ridiculed and the subject of jokes. Remember O.J. Simpson? Sure, he was more known for sports, but he did do a little bit of acting in his life. And remember during all of the original trial how it made us all insane with fear and nightmarish visions of a hellish town and a guy with a doorstop for a face? No! Of course you don't! Even if some people were frightened by the knowledge that an actor had killed someone, what are you going to do about areas of the planet where American films are less watched? What about people who may know his name casually, but have never actually seen his face? What about little kids who have never seen his movies or... God, you get the point. This plan doesn't make any sense, and I don't understand why they even want to do it in the first place. And of course, everything about this is now questionable because Lenora is Lauren. So now all that's left is to see how the real main character, the dog that Ken brought with him, will overcome these obstacles of idiots put before him. Let's dig into Slice of Ham number... Yes, can I help you?
You have no honor.
Okay. As before, let's take a look at the summary of the plot at the beginning of the individual issue.
Faking her own disappearance, Lauren takes on the identity of the mad Lenora and plants herself deep behind the enemy lines of the Whatleys, a group that has had a hand in the evil plaguing Silent Hill for countless generations.
No, it hasn't. The Order was a cult that worshipped some unknown god that some have speculated to be a demon called Samael. Their attempts to bring their god into the world resulted in their entire town getting screwed over. You're a dumbass, Scottsy Ensign.
Her goal has been to deal them an unexpected and fatal blow from within.
If you've been wondering why I've been reading these little summaries, that sentence should tell you why. Plot points and character motivations are given here instead of the comic itself. You know, I thought Amazon's attack was bad when its collected edition had those summaries of tie-in books that featured important plot stuff instead of putting the tie-in books with the collection, but dear Lord, this thing just took the cake with laziness. At least those tie-in books actually exist. Some sad idiot who actually likes Amazon's attack could hunt down those issues if they so desired, but there's no tie-ins to Dead Alive. This is it. We need a summary at the beginning to tell us what the hell actually happened in the book because the writer couldn't be bothered to put it into the actual story. And you want to know the real kick in the nuts? Those summaries are not in the trade paperback. Even if someone could stomach all of this Christabella, Whatley, and other not Silent Hill nonsense, they'd be utterly lost if they picked up the trade paperback from a bookstore.
Lauren's dead-alive younger sister, Christabella.
She isn't both, comic. It was made very clear early in the series that she was alive now.
Finds herself face-to-face with the elder thing the Whatleys have summoned to this reality.
1. When the hell did they do that? 2. When did we get more than one Whatley? 3. What does this have to do with the video games?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
Housed in the flesh of Connie, the longtime love of Hollywood actor Kenneth Carter, and Lauren's Book of Spells has also found its way into Kenneth's hands even as a ghost claiming to be his natural father appears, ready to lend a bony hand. Let the fight begin!
Round 1, fight!
We open to Christabella confronted by the possessed Connie. She looks like a goddess. I hate that. Nobody cares what you think, Christabella. Okay, like last time, there's a lot of stupid in this comic. Almost everything they say or do gives me something to mock, but the problem with this is we'll be here for hours if I make fun of everything, so let me just try to explain what's happening. Whatever's possessing Connie sucks out Troy's marshmallow filling, or maybe Troy was filled with bed sheets. Yeah, tip for artists, energy or clouds or something should not have black outlines, or else they look, well, like this. Speaking of the artist, I can just imagine them spilling their white out onto the page for all these random dots and just deciding to leave it there for artistic effect. Still, at least we have more colors than brown, but they're still watered down and dreary. The goddess thing turns its attentions towards Christabella, who starts flapping her jaw to try to distract it.
So you're, what, Samael? One of the other elder gods the Nimrods around here have been trying to summon up?
The fact that Scott Jansen knows what Samael is suggests a terrible, terrible idea. That he does know about the games. He just doesn't give a crap. Christabella at first doesn't believe she has her demon exploding powers anymore, but then suddenly uses them to blast back Connie. Dang it, if you're not gonna kill Christabella, then stop teasing us with it, comic! Yeah, you'd know all about killing little girls, wouldn't you? I'm not talking to you! Christabella isn't sure how she still has her powers, but uses it to teleport away in a column of fire. She cycles through 3 locations, showing the 3 main stars of each of the Silent Hill one-shots I mentioned in the first part of this nonsense. You know, Ike was at least a character here, but what the hell's the point of the cameos by the other 2? Oh yeah, I forgot. This book likes to waste our time. Christabella locates our canine hero.
The knife he's using as a chew toy is a stealer of souls. Sound nasty?
No, it sounds cliched and generic. Meanwhile, back to Lauren and Whatley. Christabella's narrating the entire issue, by the way.
It turned out she'd been pretending to be someone else all along. This bitch Lenora, putting us all through the paces because of another one of her games.
Seriously, this plot twist of Lauren as Lenora makes no sense. I get trying to undo the Whatleys, because this series keeps pretending that they're the big bads, despite their lack of presence in the actual comics, but then why the crap with Ken? Her entire plan was to get injured so that the Whatleys would let her have access to their power and then corrupt them from within. Except Whatley wasn't exactly a threat to her in dying inside. In fact, when she got her magical chocolatey super-duper powers, she swept them away without a second thought.
Jesus wept, Whatley. You gonna talk me to death?
Why not? No one else in this comic seems to believe that silence is golden. Whatley tortures Lauren by sticking his glowing fingers into her chest. My God, Whatley is a true threat. He has finger beams! We cut to Ken talking with his demonic aviator pilot dad, and I still can't believe I'm saying that.
You used me.
What? According to the second flippin' issue, Ken's never met his real father before. How does he even recognize him, and how exactly did he use him? You know, maybe the problem is that Scott Jansen doesn't realize that when we're not looking at the characters, we can't see what's happening to them or what they're saying to each other.
Kenneth Carter, the actor, and his dear old dad. Let's just call him Bones, shall we?
I'm quaking, but I don't know whether it's with laughter or terror.
Answer my question, Dad. Is it true? You and my mother were just using me? From the story you just told me.
What story? You can't pretend that things happened when they didn't. Wait, why am I complaining? That just means that there's less that I have to read. Bones explains to Ken that indeed Ken was born precisely for the purpose of being a killer, to spread word of Silent Hill into the nightmares of an entire world. So the stupidity doesn't even extend just to Lauren, but in fact it's generational stupidity. Bones further explains about Ken's birth as if this has some sort of bearing on the plot. He fell in love with a woman who turned out to be a higher-level demon. However, the child they conceived they actually did love, so they gave Ken up for... Wait, what? Just the last page they said they were using him for the stupid nightmare plan! Just last page! You can't say you used him and then say you always loved him. And yes, there was an editor on this story, but apparently he was hitting himself with a coffee mug that day and didn't catch something as blatantly obvious as that. Just last page! Bones starts looking more and more human for some reason, and tells Ken that he has to decide for himself if he's who he wants to be or who they want him to be. And that's why Bones is dressed as an aviator pilot. Oh, and despite the fact that on one page Christabella said that she was narrating this stuff after the fact,
I found this all out later, on the last day I would ever see her again.
We now have a page where the goddess thing possessing Connie is narrating in her caption boxes. What, is Christabella narrating from the goddess's point of view? And all she says is that she's hunting after Christabella. Scott, I couldn't help but notice that this page didn't need to exist.
Look, just shut up and draw your scribbles, art monkey.
Great. This is what I need, dog. More people trying to convince me that I should want to be alive. When has anyone expressed that to you? Please, point the page out to me.
And what, the dog is trying to convince you to be happy to be alive too? Is the dog psychic? Is he communicating with you in your mind so that we can't see it? The goddess appears in front of the two as we switch over to Lauren, who uses the power of bleach to make two demons appear and transform into tentacles to hold back Whatley, but he teleports behind her. Then Lauren kisses him. Ew. Oh, but this was actually a spell to make cockroaches appear inside of his mouth. And by the way, this is supposed to be some sort of epic fight between the two, the culmination of all of Scott Siensen's Silent Hill work. I'm sure in his own head Ghost Love Score was playing, but considering how incredibly dumb this whole thing is, I have my own soundtrack in mind. Christabella, who says that she knows the knife, despite its magical powers, isn't going to do squat, but she throws it anyway, and why not? More pointlessness. Amusing. Entertainment should be rewarded. A gift, then.
Here, have a bag of money.
And now we see what that reward is. A page of Christabella being shown a goddess's cosmic awareness and how she could be like that too. It is entirely pointless. Say, you know what we could have had on this page instead of this scene? Anything! Back to the Battle of the Sillies, Whatley says they knew right away that Lenora was her.
Lenora was an actress, always assuming other roles.
She put on a kitchen rug and looked like Connie once. That was it. I can't help but feel that there's supposed to be some sort of message or undercurrent about Hollywood that Scott Siensen is desperately trying to get across, but it's so botched and shoved into this that I can't see what his point is supposed to be other than dry pseudo-philosophical ramblings. Whatley says that he summoned the creature that's now inhabiting Connie, but then Ken appears out of nowhere and smacks Whatley right in the face with the magic book.
Ken wins. Literacy.
Lauren says it's because the skin of the book is made of a material completely anathema to his kind, whatever the hell that is. Really, this is just another case of the writer doing what he does best with this series, pulling stuff out of his ass. And one more time, Lauren got this incredibly powerful and useful book off of eBay. It's not even that she got it off of eBay, as much as that she got something so flippin' specific to her needs for all of this, without even a perilous journey to recover it from someplace dangerous. Someone just put this up on eBay, and it was exactly what she needed. Christabella arrives with the goddess, and oh dear lord, even the artist must be getting bored with all of this. This picture of Christabella, it's from issue 3, just flipped around.
Remember all that stuff they were doing back in the world? The murders, Ken here as prime suspect?
Yes, I do remember it. It bored me.
Seeding him into the nightmares of hundreds of millions of people, getting Ike's paintings of this place in people's thoughts because they were what drove Ken to do it? What if I decided not to watch the news that night? What if CNN or MSNBC or Fox News or any news outlet decided not to show the paintings? What if, and here's the big one, no one thought friggin' paintings were what drove him to do it? Seriously, when would the police make that connection to the paintings other than just as further symptoms of an already disturbed mind? That's like saying a guy goes on a killing spree of women sitting in chairs because he was inspired by the Mona Lisa. All the characters just kind of meet up in wherever the hell this is. Backgrounds, hello, and Whatley gives himself up to the goddess, who promptly consumes him. Well, thank you, Whatley. You were such an important character in all of this. I see why you were the villain, and why you grew tons of hair since we saw you in Dying Inside. Lauren and the goddess engage in their epic battle, which apparently consists of them pretending to be mimes based on this artwork.
Ken's dad appears and tells him he has to finish this, and Christabella finds it's time to monologue about how none of us are born evil, and oh dear God, there are just 3 pages left, just let this end! Ken advances towards the goddess, axe in hand. If you love someone, how can anything done in the name of that love ever really be hurtful to them? Just ask Mark David Chapman. God, this comic is stupid. So we see Ken raise the axe and grab the magic knife and scroosh! Up in bed with Connie. Ken is a farmer, his parents are alive, and now they're in an alternate reality. Same for Lauren, who's now living with Ike in France. And Christabella, she's in charge of Silent Hill again. That's how this comic ends. What the Sam flippin' hell just happened? I'm Christabella. This is my town. This is Silent Hill. No, it isn't, you prepubescent sack of crap! This is Silent Hill! This piece of crap sucks! Even if we were to rename this into Scary Town, USA, or something that had no preconceptions on anything related to Silent Hill, the story itself makes no sense, the characters are boring and stupid, and the ending is the biggest load since Monster A Go-Go said there was no monster!
There was no dignity for anyone who worked on this film.
Silent Hill deserved better than this. I am instructing all of my fans to go out and read Silent Hill Sinner's Reward. Hey, it's not perfect, but it's got my seal of approval on it, which is more that can be said for this.
Blinded by sorrow and guilt, I'd say.
It's his own damn fault, murdering bastard. I have had enough of this. Would you people just... I did what I had... What am I talking about? I didn't do anything! Whatever you are, whatever is doing this, I deny you! Seriously? A demon nurse? Come on! I haven't even been in a hospital for years! Ah! Ah! What's going on? What's wrong with my magic gun? The problem is that it exists at all, you sick freak. those who are dead are not dead, they're just living in my head. And since I fell for that spell, I've been living there as well. Beneath the seas, beside the flame, off the coast where the lost beast came, to bring the world misery and shame, a piece of the world is missing. She didn't get to heaven, not even close. I didn't get to heaven. It hurts every time I don't go to heaven. They didn't love me. My God. What did I do? You were 13 years old when you were killed. You were sacrificed to build a weapon that their church could use against their enemies. This weapon. Your own parents tortured you and killed you. I'm so sorry. You think Oh my God. Am I? The memories, the visions, the judgments. It was me. Everything that I did. I did that to my own daughter? What kind of monster am I? I can never make it right. I'm so sorry.
No. Partner. Friend.
Ah! Well, that was thoroughly irritating. Not going there again. Oh, no, you don't. You've played that card and it isn't working anymore. See, I'm not some pretty boy with marital problems. I don't have some confused psyche or unresolved parental issues. You're not dealing with a Silent Hill protagonist here. Time and again, someone got it into their head that they could defeat me. Time and again, they beat me down, they knocked me out, and they tried to make me give up. You come at me with insecurity, self-doubt, and angst? You trying to make me doubt who I am? I am the man who defeated Pyramid Head. I am the man who conquered Countdown. I am the man who fought off the Borsov and destroyed Mechakara. I am the liberator of Kikassia. I am a Starfleet captain. I am a Power Ranger. I'm that guy with the hat. I am Linkara. The thing is, whatever you are, you're not that little girl. You're all the pain and rage and betrayal, every dark thought she never had until her parents broke her heart. You want revenge for what happened to you. Except, you can't. Because you already got it. The people who killed that girl, the people responsible for bringing about such rage and hate are all dead. You killed them already. And that's the problem. That girl, she poured her soul into this thing. And she's gotten over it. She doesn't need you anymore. They're all dead. She has no one to hate. And if there's no one left to hate, there's no need for you, is there? You needed me to be the one to hate. But I don't think she hates me at all. I think we're partners. I'm sorry. I really am. But you need to go away now. Oh, come on now, again with the nurses? Oh, that is just cheating! Well, fine then. I've been wanting to try this anyway. Sama! And then there was one. Well, I guess that's the end of... What the...
So what does it all mean?
Who can say? All I know, all I hope, is that whoever she was, she's at peace now.
Well, I guess that's all we could hope for, right? So what's the deal with the book?
Not a clue. I thought it was just another part of the other world, but it was still around after it had faded away. I'll have to take a closer look at it when we get a chance.
Was there anything else still around?
Yeah. I had Poyo examine the area afterwards. He detected an energy trace still lingering around. Something we've seen before. And there was something else.
That's a shade dagger, which means...
Yeah. Vice. We had him! We had him! He held the weapon up to his own head. He was ready to pull the trigger. He pulled the trigger! How could this have happened?
You underestimated him once again, and you toyed with forces you do not fully comprehend. Still, I have acquired useful tactical information about his weapons.
The psychological attack can work. We must try again.
No. His will and resolve are too strong now. The attack must now be through brute strength. Your upgrade will be completed, and fortunately, I have acquired just the scientist to perform those upgrades.
Now then, here's where things get really interesting. You want to plant? Any minute now. Give me a second. I let you wait for the shield thingy.